Simple in concept, and hopefully in reality once you're done with this video, but plenty of drummers struggle with this stuff. I remember starting out and it was a real pain for me, and it kept me from changing out my snare side head for, well, an embarrassingly long amount of time. We're talking about snare wire installation, and based on the comments from last week's episode, there are quite a few viewers out there who could use a bit of a refresher, complete with plenty of visuals. But while this will be an in-depth and detailed video on the installation process, this shouldn't take you more than a few minutes. As with most things, if you practice consistently, this will take less and less time, it'll get easier, and you'll feel more comfortable doing it. Of course, take your time, feel free to pause, go back, rewatch segments of this video, even return to it at a future date. Take your time going through and make sure that you understand in detail. First off, I know that this can be a little nerve-wracking, feel like you're baiting a mousetrap or something, but don't worry. We're going to cover this in detail and work to put you at ease. A few housekeeping notes before we get started. This isn't a private lesson. This is on YouTube. There are a lot of you watching right now, and you're all at a different place in your drumming journey. That's fine. That's great. That also means that for some of you, elements of this may be abundantly obvious. At the same time, for other people, they will be brand new. Consider this your exercise in patience for the day. If you struggle with having the patience to do this, you're going to struggle when it comes to putting this stuff into action. Speaking of action, if you're watching this video right now and you don't have a drum in front of you, you're going to want to grab a snare drum because this stuff is best learned when you have a drum in front of you to work on. As much as I wish this were like the Matrix and you could just watch it, have it downloaded to you, and you'd be done, you really actually have to do it yourself. I know, it would be great if you could just watch videos online all day and learn everything and have it internalized and be able to do this stuff immediately, but this is part of the practice phase. So let's get right down to it. If you haven't already removed the snare wires, there's no real special tricks here. Just make sure that you've got your snares disengaged, flip the drum over, and remove the wires. Step 1. First thing we're going to do here is set the snare strainer tension to 50% and check to make sure we've got our mounting method ready. If you don't know what 50% or midway looks like on your snare strainer, here's a simple approach for it. Loosen the tension all the way up. Get it to the point where it is almost falling apart. Make sure you don't go too far. You don't want to disassemble your snare strainer. You just want to get all the tension off of it. Now, you're going to tighten that back up until you can't tighten it anymore. But as you're doing that, you're counting the number of incremental turns. At the end of this, we're going to go back half of that many turns. So it's important that you count how many turns. If it's 50 turns, we're going back 25. If it's 40 turns, we're going back 20. Just make sure that you've got consistent amounts of rotation as you're going back. Okay, so now we've got the strainer set at 50%, and I'm going to make sure that the screws or whatever the securing method is on both the butt plate and the snare strainer are loosened up so we'll be able to get the mounting material through there. We're using the Pure Sound Custom Pro snare wires here that have a very unique system, but we're going to show you different ways to do this depending on the wires that you're using, and the methods, the general approach will all be valuable regardless of whether you're using straps, some kind of ribbon, or string. If you are using strings for securing your snare wires, you're going to want to do this little trick before you get started. Take the string and wrap it around one of the adjacent tension rods. You're going to go back and forth with it in a bit of a buffing motion. This is going to help remove the memory from the string, ensuring that you don't have any kind of kinks or anything that would prevent it from laying flat when you're mounting the wires. Since I'm using straps here, I don't have to go through any of that. I'm going to lay them down on the drum. Step 2, we're laying the wires flat on the bottom of the drum and checking for any issues. Snare wires are surprisingly fragile, and it doesn't take much to get them to a point where they won't behave like they're supposed to, and before you know it, you're chasing your tail just trying to get rid of strange buzz or other uncontrollable elements that are going to lead you down a rabbit hole and frustrate you. So with the wires laying flat on the drum, you're going to be looking for any kind of kinks or bends, any sort of inconsistencies that could potentially cause issues when it comes to mounting the wires and playing. If you're using brand new wires and you see any of these issues, definitely return the wires. There shouldn't be any issues like this if you're using a brand new set of wires. If you're using an older set of wires, or you just pulled these wires off of the drum that you're installing them on again, you may need to replace your wires. It happens. Whatever you do, if you do have a damaged wire, I would strongly advise against cutting that single wire off. If you have experience with this sort of thing and know what you're doing and have watched our other videos in which we do this, go ahead at your own risk, but know that this is probably one of the most common causes for a blown snare side head. When you've got those burrs on the ends of either the end plates from the solder points where the wires connect to the end plates, those are an easy culprit for blowing out a snare side head. So do that at your own risk. Another thing to be mindful of is snare wire fit, not just lengthwise, but also widthwise. You should be aware of what your snare bed width is on this particular drum and make sure that you're not using a set of wires that is too wide, that is to say too many strands and with too wide of an end plate set that would create issues. Generally speaking, anything from 20 strand down to, well, even 8 strand should be fine. It's when you get into the 30 strand and 42 strand or anything up in that range where you start to run into some issues. On the length side of things, we want to make sure that the wires aren't too long that they end up over the bearing edge. One of the reasons why I like the Pure Sound Custom Pro wires is that they aren't extra long. These tend to fit just inside the bearing edge of most standard shells. If you have an ultra thick shell snare, you may run into some other issues and might even consider using a set of 13-inch wires on a 14-inch drum if this is going to be a problem. Step 3, we're going to set the wires, installing the mounting material in both the butt plate as well as the strainer side, but not tightening them down just yet. I know there's plenty of people out there using Mylar or polyester film straps. Some people even recommend a little drum hack that involves taking an old drum head, cutting it into little strips and using those to mount the snare wires. I strongly advise against this sort of thing. As we know from tuning, drum heads stretch, and so the material that the drum heads are made from stretches. And the last thing that you really want with your snare wire mounting method is stretching. That material can stretch out as you're tensioning, can create more issues. You'll feel like you're constantly tuning it up as if it's not holding its place. This can be a real pain, and it can also lead to some unwanted sound that we'll talk about a little later on. By the way, if you've just changed out your snare side head or had your snare side hoop off for any reason, make sure that before you get onto the wire step that you've got everything tuned up with the snare side hoop properly aligned so that the snare gates are over the snare bed. I'm sure that many of us have had experiences where we've gone ahead, changed out snare side heads, put on the hoop, gotten it tuned up, and then gotten ready to put on the wires only to realize that the snare gate on the hoop isn't in alignment with the snare bed. So make sure that that's running in the direction of the snare wires. Next up, we're going to center the wires on the bottom of the drum. I know it may look a little strange here because I'm using the Custom Pro system, but keep in mind that this is the same whether you're using ribbons or straps or strings. You're going to want to already have those installed on the wires themselves, running through both the butt plate and the strainer. And now we're going to get things set up to tighten down the strainer. You're going to want to engage the strainer, so make sure that it's in its on position, and then get the wires aligned so that they are completely centered on the drum. We're making sure that we have the straps, or if you're using strings or ribbons or whatever, centered on the mounting system itself, and we're going to tighten those down just a little bit, but not all the way. I'm using a drum key here, but you can kind of think of this as a finger tight approach. If your fingers could do it, go for it. Now, with your hand on the opposing side, gently pull on the wires to make sure that they are taut and centered still on the drum. If they have moved out of alignment, stretch them back from the opposing side, get them so they're straight on there. And now we're going to tighten down the strainer mechanism. By the way, if you're using strings and have a strainer mechanism that requires you to tie off the ends, we recommend using a square knot as that ensures that it won't come undone. Okay, step 5. Now we're going to secure the butt plate. We're going to pull out the mounting material from the butt plate side and ensure that once again, the snare wires are still centered on the drum. This shouldn't feel like you're stretching the wires, you just want them secured. From here, we're going to go ahead and tighten down the butt plate. While you're doing this, make sure that you still have the mounting material centered on the butt plate itself. If anything is out of alignment, your wires can get twisted, you can create all sorts of irregularities, and that's going to manifest in some more headache when it comes to getting the sound that you want. Stick around until just after the break and we'll get into testing and making adjustments. Okay, now we're gonna flip the snare drum back over and we're gonna be tapping in the very center of the drum to see what our snare response is like while the wires are engaged. In this case, you can hear that there's a light little bit of rattle and it continues on for a while. So we're going to tighten them up a little bit until it gets to a crisp response. If it sounds choked, like the snare wires are touching the bottom head, but they're not really moving when you're tapping just at a light volume with your finger, then you're going to want to back off on the tension. That's a pretty good starting spot right there for where I want to be. Let's double check on the snare wire alignment, making sure that they're still centered. Flip the drum over and let's take a look. With the snare strainer engaged, I'm looking down at the wires and I see that they are still centered. If the snare wires are noticeably off-center towards the strainer side, you're going to want to address that. To do this, we're going to loosen up a little bit of the tension on the snare strainer side, and then on the butt plate side, we're going to loosen up the screws or whatever the mounting system is, and then pull the strings, strap, or ribbon, whatever your mounting method is, a little bit from the butt side until we've got everything centered on the bottom. Again, your wires should be centered on the bottom of the drum. If you're not getting enough tension there, you can always loosen up a little bit from the strainer and wait until you've got that alignment just right on the bottom of the drum. Conversely, if they're slipping too far towards the butt plate side, tighten the tension a little bit on the snare strainer side until you've got them centered, and then tighten down the butt plate. You can flip the drum over. Then we'll engage the wires and go through the same process, testing to make sure that our tension works appropriately for where the drum is tuned. Another thing you're going to want to do is turn the snare wires off, and then try playing either with a stick or with your hand on the side of the drum, listening to make sure that you don't get any snare response. The wires shouldn't be contacting the snare side head at all when they're disengaged. If they are, that means that your wires are probably still a little bit on the tight side. In some rare instances, you may have a drum, particularly if it's a smaller builder or a custom build, where the snare strainer mechanism or the butt plate has been mounted too high. This is a real problem. It can also be something that's caused by the use of a particular mounting method. This is another reason why I recommend people not use those polyester film or mylar straps. They tend to have a little bit of spring to them that'll send the wires back up into the snare side head even when they're disengaged. One of the things I love about using the Custom Pro wires is that once you've got the straps on there, you have really no reason to remove the straps, and then you can just use the cotter pins to remove the snare wires, and that can be done in just a matter of seconds. It's great if you want to swap out wires, or you can swap out different snare side heads, just change your heads, whatever you need to do. Just make sure that if you do use the Custom Pro wires, that you install the cotter pins correctly. Those need to run between the stitch marks on the straps, and they also need to be sitting within that little indentation on the end plates. In our previous episode, we went into a whole slew of things to watch out for when it comes to snare wire installation. You can refer to that for some of the common mistakes that people run into. I hope you found some value in this. I know explaining this, there's a lot of stuff to be mindful of, but as I mentioned, once you've done it a few times, you start to get into the habit of it. It becomes easier and easier. You become better at it. You don't have to refer back to the resources. And soon, hopefully you'll feel confident doing this entirely from memory. If you found some value in this video and you enjoy our series, please make sure that you are subscribed and do consider joining our Patreon to help support this channel. We produce these videos and make them available for free. It takes a lot of time to produce all these videos, and well, we still have to feed ourselves and pay rent. So please do consider supporting what we're doing here and being involved in the future of this channel.